We outside cooking with Crisco. Now, let's go over a few things. All right. So, this is the defensive closing arguments in the case. We heard the government all yesterday and what they went through. Now it's time to get on with the show. Now, before the defense closing, the judge comes in like hot. Thank you. I got some rest today. I slept 7 hours. Still gonna get some more. But that's why I'm doing this, and today gonna be a pretty much relaxation, rest day. I'm in my old grandpa chair. My housekeeper's cleaning, so I'm doing pretty well right now. So, when the judge comes in, they said before the defensive closing, they come in and say, well, what about the laptop of exhibits? And they was like, the government's like, we're still working on it. There are a lot of exhibits, Judge. And the judge said, we don't give the laptop to the jury until Monday. Today we have the defense, the rebuttal, and my charge. So the judge says, so deliberations will start Monday. I'll send the parties my charge and the verdict form. And then Tenney said, may I confer with Mr. Agnifino? And the judge says, of course. And they said, about Mia, Mr. Agnifino would like to show exhibit 1727 on an easel. We redacted her name so no one in the gallery can see her face. The government wants to put a post-it note over her face. How are you going, how are you to place it? So they tested out. It was like, the public can't see it, so it should be fine. So the judge said, that's fine. Let's bring in the jury. So the courtroom deputy says, there's a juror with transit issues. We are inquiring about it. They said, okay, we'll wait. So they took a break until the juror who came in there slow, but yet you got rid of the black man who was always on time. But we won't go into that. So we have all the jurors. They started in 5 minutes. So Diddy was back in his cell until they was ready. And he was brought back before the jurors came in. So they got everybody there. So Mr. Agnifino said, are you ready to proceed with the defense closings? And he said, there's a trial set forth by the text messages. Then there's the trial of the prosecutor's mouth. He came out the gate. Out the gate. This is Diddy's head lawyer. He's the one that's leading this whole team. And he's coming out with the closing arguments. He's finna shut it down. First words he says, there's a trial set forth by text messages. Then there's a trial out of the prosecutor's mouth. They are different. Right away, he is explaining to you that the government is playing a whole different game with theory. This is what I'll talk about: direct evidence and circumstantial evidence. There's a difference, teaser tails. There's a major difference. But you finna find that out. As he continues, the trial from the evidence, what is it? It is personal use drugs. That's all it is. That's a swinger's lifestyle. But the prosecutors have charged one of the most serious statutes on the books. They call threesomes and drugs a RICO. Yeah, it's dumb. I want to thank you for your service to this country. I would love to speak to you for days, but it's Friday, and I am trying to be efficient. I have a lot of ground to cover, but I'll focus on the most important part, Sean Combs. Sean Combs is a self-made black entrepreneur. He has built a real business and real businesses that are so outstanding that others create partnerships with him. We heard that Derek Ferguson, who sat here, is it hard to be Sean Combs? How many witnesses said they were moved? Their assistants were moved by Sean Combs. It was like Harvard Business School. He punished me hard. Did they always like him? No. No way. Let's not even go there. Did they like him? No. But they loved him. Even the ones who are suing him. Mia, I'm not going to call her Mia because that's not her name. I'm going to call her the witness who testified as Mia. Remember, Derek Ferguson from the Bronx, he said there were not many hiring people. There weren't many people out there hiring guys like him from the Bronx. There's something more to these businesses. Sometimes the real thing in life is and are hard to do. No one remembers the easy days. These people grew. It was real. It was diversity. These days, DEI, Combs was doing that at 24. The prosecutors call his business racketeering. That's the fake trial. What happens? He gets arrested. They destroy his property. They have a special response team. They have a Clandestine. He said they are Clandestine, can't follow with a camera, rampart. He said they ran this whole thing. The kids were there. There were 6 to 7 of them in the second row. The 7th is an infant. This is who he is, the man who takes care of people. James came here and testified against him. Today she's in a house he's paying for. And they found it. Boxes of Astroglide taking off the streets. And they got the baby oil and the personal use drugs. America is safer. 5 Valium pills. When you're doing work like that, we can't photograph you. That's the evidence. What do? They wrap yellow crime scene tape figuratively around his bedroom, around the hotel room he goes to with his girlfriends. That's a lot of crime scene tape. The crime scene is your private sex life. Hey, hit the like button up, y'all. If y'all just got here, hit the like button up. The Cash App is Carceno, Carceno. The Super Chat works. Everything works here. Absolutely. It all works here. No one called 911. Same thing I've been saying this whole trial, right? Why, if y'all felt this way, why didn't someone make criminal complaints? No. They call civil plaintiff lawyers. This is a case about money. Cassie Ventura sues Sean Combs for $30 million because he has $30 million. If he doesn't have it, no civil lawsuit, no criminal case. This case is about 5 minutes. It's about love. Love as being said more than 800 times in this trial. The domestic violence, we own it. We do not ask Ms. Ventura about being hit, kicked, or dragged. He said the domestic violence, we own it. We did not ask Ms. Ventura about getting hit, kicked, or dragged. We did not cross Jane about it either, but domestic violence is not charged. If he was charged with that, he would have pled guilty. He did that. But he did not do racketeering, conspiracy, or sex trafficking. Nope. He did not kidnap or bribe anyone. The first person to say this was about domestic violence was Cassie Ventura. She made an Instagram post. She said, "Thank you for your love and support. The domestic violence is the issue." She could have said anything on her phone or tablet. She could have said, "This is about sex trafficking." She didn't say that. She said it was about domestic violence. Believe her. Believe Cassie when she says domestic violence is the issue. In that moment, watching that video, imagine that. To see their relationship is to see everything that racketeering is not. I am not going to go through a lot of text messages or charts or screen time. It's a terrible thing. Screen time. I'm told I'm going to tell you the story of the case. Woo! Now, today was different. You see, I'm not in the courtroom, but I got people in the courtroom. So they tell me the tone of what's going on in there. And the tone was more passionate. And it was, you seen a master at work when Agnifino was doing it. He kept pointing at them damn 5 white women. He was moving with his chest. He had his suit jacket open. He was letting it be known. He was on top of all of it. And he was dictating exactly what he wanted to do, when he wanted to do it, and how it was going to be done. So he began to tell a love story between Cassie and Diddy. He starts off, they fell in love. Cassie had a boyfriend of 3 years, 10 years older than her. See? Ryan Leslie. Without mentioning Ryan Leslie's name, they use Ryan Leslie because now it's going to dictate and show you that they weren't telling the truth, trying to make it look like Diddy was this older man with her. She was dating a guy 10 years older than her right then and there on the spot. But she met Sean Combs and they were off to the races. Mr. Combs rents her a boat and they make love for the first time. They are in an intense relationship, 11 years. Cassie is smart. She flat won. She got 30 million and he's in jail. You probably know that. The nice looking men behind him, they are the U.S. Marshals. They keep him safe. Cassie has won 100 to nothing. They tell you she's a victim. This is a great modern love story. They didn't write these in the past because they didn't have these problems. They had 6 kids at the time. It's a relationship based on love. Cassie says she was young and insanely jealous. If you're the jury room and you don't want to go home and read their text messages at the time of the breakup, he said, you will cry. They were selfless with each other when it was going to work for the original sin of their relationship. That Gina wouldn't come over there, but she's out there. Then Kim Porter passes away, and Mr. Combs said what he did. For Cassie, it was like the last straw. She made an adult choice and left, like she always could leave. What happened when she left? Nothing. Pick a message from 2018 and read it. These two people loved each other. If racketeering conspiracy had an opposite, it would be their relationship. They were the best selves when it came to sex. There were times that Sean Combs was proud on sex. They found each other. It was a beautiful thing. You won't find a single text where she says, I didn't like that sex. It was an 11-year relationship. The issues were jealousy and other women. But they match up when it comes to sex. Swingers. She's a woman who loves sex and is beautiful. She is unafraid. Let's talk about Kid Cudi. He came in here, and I'm not mentioning mentioning to be judgy, Cuddy comes here and says Cassie played me. She did. She played them both. Not everyone can do that. She goes for it. She likes Sean, and she had a relationship with another singer-songwriter right under his nose. She's not afraid of him. What's she gonna tell either? She wasn't gonna tell him either. No. Cassie is keeping it gangster. She's like, I'm gonna lie to both of them. So right then and there, the Kid Cudi thing, y'all putting Kid Cudi on the stand was the worst thing you could have done for yourself. You're thinking name appeal, Kid Cudi. That's only gonna make Cudi look stupid, but that's because Kid Cudi doesn't even go by Kid Cudi no more. Kid Cudi is pretty much out of the business. He's into the acting business. I know what he's really doing. He goes by his real government name now, and when he acts, and he's playing gay roles. Really playing who he really is in life. But oh yeah, just did you watch the movie Trap? When he was the blonde wearing the blonde wig with the heels with the long black nails, when he plays the bisexual gay guy, he was hitting on Josh Hartnett. That was Kid Cudi being Kid Cudi. Remember, if you go on my Patreon, we'll tell you what happened to Kid Cudi, and Kanye West is his fault for it happening. Now, let's get back to the case. That's right. Hit the like button up, y'all, because the government trying to get involved here. We can't let them get started. Cassie gets a burner phone, finally. They say that's what you expect in a racketeering case, right? She gets the one who got the burner phone. She's the one that got a burner phone. The morning of December 22, 2021. The whole thing with Cudi and all that. She had 2 hotel rooms. Whoa. A room for the burner. She was not going to tell nobody nothing. Let's talk about racketeering. The judge is going to give a legal charge later today, assuming the first one is the 2004 kidnapping of Capricorn Clark. Let's talk about her. She said, I wanted my life back. Capricorn Clark's parents passed away when she was young. I don't mean any disrespect. She told you, I'm happy she did. Others didn't tell you about their parents. She moved to the Bronx and meet Sean Combs. She goes super platonic. What? I think she means she didn't want it to be platonic. She's out there. You could see it. She says, you know, I had the biggest crush on you. I think we misused our dope chemistry. If she's kidnapped, why does she want to go back to work for him? She's getting her nails done with Mike B. He's going to be mad at me. She says she calls 1,440 times and said, lock everyone in. She got the lie detector, and Mike B too. Did that. How was she kidnapped? If she went home every day. Same thing I said yesterday. It's common sense. When they said that in the testimony about kidnapping, I'm like, how is it kidnapping and you go home? What kind of kidnapping is this? Come back tomorrow so we can kidnap you again. Okay. How's it kidnapping and you go home every day? You see, teaser tales and dumb bastard ain't telling you this. You got teaser tales and dumb bastard. They just running around, same old lies. But they don't go over none of the facts with common sense. Maybe, dumb bastard probably just ain't got it. Is the government alleging 5 separate kidnappings? Paulie drove her home, door-to-door kidnapping. The Southern District of New York is charging this as kidnapping, and he laughs. He laughed in the courtroom and says, "It's not a kidnapping. You guys come in here after day, long days. You come back the next day. Have you been kidnapped? Have we kidnapped the jury? No." At the time, Sean Combs is in the raising of the sun. He's running voter die campaigns. He couldn't care less about this. The lie detector was former FBI. You guys have the right to say, huh? That sounds like a stretch. Why charge it as kidnapping? Come to whatever answer you think. The answer is Capricorn leaves for a year. She makes more money, then she comes back. Next, Sean and Cassie are having a freak off. It's December 22nd, 2011. Cassie has 2 hotel rooms. Combs look at her non-burner phones, sees messages about CC and Cuddy. Maybe call Scott. In the text, something about hiking. Something about hiking? Well, what about the hike? Uh-oh. I thought I lost y'all for a minute. All right, we should be good. Y'all can hear me all right? Y'all can see me all right, right? We making sure they ain't coming with the okie doke. Because this whole trial, boy, the government been trying to pull it. Hit the like button up. Hit the like button up. Like it up. I know y'all just got here. We made it available for everybody. We ain't just use subscribers. We got everybody in here. We need to get this thing up there. They playing a lot of dirty games right now. We just want to make sure, you know, while they playing the dirty games, somebody's telling the truth. So we gotta work on the truth and stay with that. Now we see what the government doing here is corrupt, and no one wants to call it out. Nah, we can't have that. Shouts out to Sean G too, because he's been out here making it happen. Yeah, for real. Shouts out to him because he's been one of the people that's been on the grounds, making sure that this nonsense don't extend any further than what people have extended it to. It's been nothing but a constant headache for a lot of people. But this is a trial for a black man. This is, if they could do this, and they saying the government in New York is willing to do this to destroy a black man, what would they do to you? Anything they want. They're not playing games out here. Not one bit. So if they're not playing games, what do you think they finna do to you? Why would you think you're immune or special? Yeah. He's pointing at the defense, looking at them like they're a joke. because this whole case has been a joke. See, Agnifino had control over the whole crowd. So while he got them oohing on, like laughing at the fact that they tried to call somebody who kept going home at the end of every day, and they getting picked up going back in as a kidnapping, is the weirdest thing I've ever seen in trial history. That shows you they have no case whatsoever. It's like, you really expect someone to believe that they were kidnapped? Really? And if that case is wrong and you went to file that, then you went out to file a RICO charge. That is the biggest I've ever seen in my life. It is so dumb to have that on your legacy. It's just, it makes no sense. It really doesn't. It's like, well, let's get Sean Combs on anything we can. Yeah, because that's the narrative. The whole narrative is, we got to find a way to take down Sean Combs. We don't care who has to fall. Yeah, I made this public on my Patreon. It's probably going live right now for my Patreons, because I want everybody who didn't get a notification to get a notification for this, to be able to watch it and see, because this is exactly what they do to you. Now, he goes over this message with Cuddy, right? He said Combs took her non-burner phones. See message with CC and Cuddy, maybe call Scott in the text. Something about hiking, right? Then he said, why would he have a gun? How he goes to get Capricorn. Why? She wouldn't do anything with him. Go to the moon. She would do anything with him. Go to the moon. He didn't need a gun. He didn't have a gun. Cuddy said Cassie told Cuddy that Cassie already told Combs. Are you following me? Now, Kid Cuddy said Cassie told Cuddy that Cassie already had told Combs. Are you following me? Sean Combs has nothing to gain by having a gun and everything to lose. He's already Sean Combs. Capricorn would love to have stayed employed if he pulled a gun on her. No way didn't it happen. No gun. Cuddy didn't say to Capricorn Clark, said Combs. Like, Cuddy didn't say that Capricorn said Diddy had a gun, because there was no gun. Working backwards, Cuddy didn't tell the police about a gun. It was written up as a trespass. That's all. There's no gun. Capricorn's story falls apart because there's no gun. Diddy came banging on her door with a gun in his hand. Like, what kind of movie did they get this from? What script? Diddy banging on her door with a gun. Capricorn, come on out. You're gonna come with me. It's crazy. He said there was a car chase, or was there? Cuddy pulled up next to the Escalade, the witness said. There was no car chase. The judge is going to say you can disregard any witness if you find something not credible, if you see fit. It's all you need. Seems like everything is possible with Capricorn Clark. I asked her. She said, I came up here with Puff. I want to run away. I'm afraid of mountain lions. Mountain lions? I'm not saying they're not scary, but if you were kidnapped with a gun, no. She doesn't want to say. I went by my own volition. I'm not saying Sean Combs didn't go there. He wanted to fight him. Fine. Motherfucker. Combs is not a coward. This dude dropped the MF bomb in a closing statement. Hey, Agnifino going for it, baby. He's like, he's ready to fight. At the risk of being sexist, they are men. They fight. We're going to have a good old-fashioned 8 in the morning Hollywood Hills John Wayne fight. The Porsche, not his style. There is no evidence. Who else would do it? It's not evidence. You see that in the closing statements by the government? Who else would have did it, Your Honor? It had to be him. That's not evidence. You see? Dumb bastard. Somebody saying something like, who else could it be? That don't work in court. You got to have evidence. Teaser Tails and the rest of y'all, Nancy Grace wannabes. You got to have evidence. You can't go in there and say, who else would it be? Burning a car is cowardness. Be a man and fight him. This man is saying, look, Diddy ready to fight. Why didn't Cuddy just squabble up? Take this ass whooping, Cuddy. Throw hands with the Diddy man. What's in the car? A Molotov cocktail. Why not show you the glove? Am I suggesting something? Yes. That the investigation stunk. It's terrible. 2 fingerprints. What happened? Well, I don't know. You're going to determine that his fate on arson. On this, the DNA was consistent with a female contributor. That witness was not helpful. It had come back consistent with Combs. They would have bragged about it. Investigator Jimenez never followed up. He tried to find Cassie. Jimenez said Capricorn's brother obstructed him. They fought. I'm not saying Capricorn did it or Cassie did it. We're not here to solve the world's problems. Cassie's father didn't call him back. The witness was mad. Draw your own conclusions. Here's an email. Why is she calling him Sean Puffy Combs? For some later proof? She doesn't mention any car. Forget it. Let's turn to the London hotel. If you want to go to someone's house, it's not a kidnapping. It's unfair. Cassie is public too. Remember, Cassie also didn't want the tape out. She had a movie coming out. Let's go back to what she said about the hotel staff maybe leaking the footage. They were worried about publicity, not a misdemeanor. Guess what happened? It was sold. The police was nowhere near the situation. Is Combs acting like a fool, calling Cassie and saying that the police are about to arrest him? She is freezing him out, as she should. He's just trying to get her attention. He leaves, goes to her apartment. He's banging on the door, maybe with a hammer. I don't know. Carrie Morgan said. That's why the police came. A neighbor called. The Intercontinental has no police record. So he cannot be guilty of bribery under California law, as the judge will tell you. How could you can't be guilty of bribery if you did not commit the bribe? They trying to say, well, he offered the money to the officer that came by there. The officer takes it, then it's a bribe. If you offer it and he says, sir, are you offering me a bribe? He's letting you know that this is a bribe. And if you're giving me this and you're telling me to do this to make something happen for you and giving me this money, In the process, I've now accepted a bribe. That is a bribe. If you try to offer a cop some money and he'd be like, what is this for? You have to give grounds of what it's for. If he said, hey, this is this and this, the officer be like, you can't bribe a police officer. You know this, right? Are you offering me a bribe? Because now that person is presenting the money for help. The judge will tell you that. You can't be guilty of bribery under California law. There was no police involved. The Intercontinental have no police, period. So you cannot be guilty of bribery under California law, as the judge will tell you. You see? Direct evidence versus circumstantial evidence. That's what I tried to tell you, teaser. See, I maybe I should be Carcino Tales. Because if you was listening to me, you wouldn't be so stupid. None of y'all would look so stupid right now. And this defense is just basically telling you everything I just said previously. So I'm not a lawyer. So if I'm sitting here saying the same damn thing as the defense, and I'm saying it before they say it, I must know what the hell I'm talking about. And dumb bastard, you know, he just, all he could do is read notes. And he can't even do that right. As soon as he go off script and got to start talking, he good. Well, Diddy, he a bad man. So, you know, being in jail, you know, he could be paying the lawyers, the judge. He could be paying everybody from the jail, you know, because, you know, he's a powerful and dangerous man. Ain't no telling what he could do. I said, look, man, play your game however you gonna play it, but you have really exposed yourself in this situation. And then when it gets to this, no, I'm not reading Sean G. I'm reading from the guy that's in the courtroom, who's the inner city press, okay, who's been covering the whole trial from in there. We're reading what is called, uh-oh, they better get that dog. That dog come over here, that's it. These are called court transcripts, meaning that this is what happened in the courtroom, word for word. So ain't no creating anything. You getting the testimony. Now back to it. Then he said, and with Mia, the witness who testified as Mia, said was out of Skrillo money. That should have told you that Sean was concerned about Cassie suing him. He was not aware of any federal investigation, if there was one. So it's not obstruction of justice if he's not even aware of it. He's trying to stave off a lawsuit. And when it comes to Jane, he still might. Shall we take a break here? And they said, that'll be fine. The judge wanted to take a break. So everybody is like listening. And then here comes Comey comes in. Now, nobody interrupted her whole time she was doing the breakdown, right? When she was running it down. She wants to come in and talk to the judge. I don't want to object, but he asked the jury to ask why the prosecutors charged as they did. We need a curative instruction after the break. He told the jury that the Intercontinental was a misdemeanor curative instruction. Then she said, he told the jury Mr. Combs was charged with arson. That is not the case. It is a RICO predicate. Mr. Agnifino, he said, I was going to get to the RICO on the rest. It's fair comment. You said, why charge a kidnapping? You can ask that. He said, I think I'm allowed to be sarcastic. That's what I was doing there. And he's like, and the intercontinental video, it's a state matter, not federal. It's a fair comment. Can the government propose? They was like, yes, after the break. So there, they trying to get mad already. Now see, yesterday the defense said nothing. They was like, nah, let it ride. Let them get out all they wanted to get out. They didn't interrupt them. They let it go. Now, here come Comey in there. Your Honor, he's tearing apart my case. We worked so hard. We watched Sex in the City. We drank some wine. We listened to Alanis Morissette. And now we're ready to get this bad man and keep him off the streets forever. And he's being mean. So right away, they said, do you have proposed language? Comey says yes. Ms. Steiner has emailed the defense our proposed curative instructions. And they said, Mr. Agnifino, those were grossly improper, just to blunt out about it. The jury is not to speculate about the charge. I will tell them that it is improper for you to consider that. You are to disregard those comments. Alexander Spiro said, we did not object yesterday. Since you called out Mr. Agnifino, he said, I didn't call out anything. There was an objection. And they said, Shapiro was like, Mr. Slavic told the jury they might have been guns at freak-offs. There's no evidence of that. It was outrageous. No one is doing anything improper. Exactly. Shapiro in here letting it be known. Judge said, you made no record of that yesterday. Here, I'm giving the multiple instructions, just one. And Shapiro's like, why you asked to do that at the end? Not now. He said, we asked you to do that at the end, not now. It would suggest that Mr. Agnifino did something that was improper. And then here she goes, it's needed now. And he said, let's get the jury out. Diddy leans over and whistles to Agnifino, who takes some notes down. And before the break is over, it's suggested that he say, we suggest that you should consider why this was charged that is not proper. I'll be instructing you on the law. Mr. Agnifino? He's like, okay, he's back. So right away, they got the judge, once again, to go ahead and lean in their direction, and they had to get on the judge. Like, hey, wait a minute now. We ain't said it yesterday. Same thing I said. They let them ride. Right? Before the break, it was suggested you should consider why this was charged, that it is not proper. I will be instructing you on the law, right? So he said, all right, we went through all that. He said, now we'll talk about Mia. She loved working for Mr. Combs. This was not forced labor. Remember the birthday party video we showed up? She was bubbly, popping. That's the real her. You are free to conclude she put on an act there. If Mr. Combs felt it was improper, he would not threaten to tell Cassie it was consensual. When Mia said it was not consensual, she's not telling the truth. There was no unwanted sexual contact. Mia's feelings were not platonic. Mr. Steele questioned her about these wonderful pictures and slogans effusively, not just a job. This is a demonstrative. You can take it into the jury room. Consider the scrapbook she made. I'm going to read it to you. Happy 45th birthday, Puff. This is from 1991 to 1999. I hope this stir up nostalgic feelings. How great you've become. She loved you. You can't fake that. That's real. Don't lose sight of that. It's not just business. He gives people a home. Look at this picture. Think of a word that comes to mind. Joy? There's KK, D-Rock, Fahim. He created a remarkable special place. He moved out people and moved people from their hearts and souls. When Mia is told she's being fired, that she is going to leave that special place, Mia, my life is over. KK, oh my God. WTF. Mia, that's not funny. Racketeering, co-conspirator. KK writes, Mia, answer your phone, or I'm going to call your parents. That's the last thing she wanted to do was leave. And it's forced labor. The government should be arrested for placing these charges. They really should. This is ridiculous. Let's turn to drug distribution. The U.S. said personal use is a distraction. Brendan Paul said these were personal use drugs. He said he forgot to take the cocaine out of my bag. He said, I got the best lawyer in the world and my charges were dismissed. That's what he said. Sean Combs was not selling drugs. Cassie said he was a drug addict. How is he supposed to get them? Grow his own Xanax? Did he have drugs? Yes. They found it in his house. Was he using his empire to distribute drugs? No. You're going to have to think through this. Didn't Mia go work for Madonna? That's how people use personal assistants. I don't expect we're going to see Beyonce and CVS. The assistants buy Astroglide. It's not what the company is doing. This is not a racketeering act. I'm going to RICO. There's no evidence of possession with the intent to distribute drugs. David James says he was in San Tropez. He asked to get an 8-ball of cocaine. I asked him anything to do with Sean Combs. He said no. He kept it from him. Why would he hide it? If people are in creative fields doing what people in creative fields do, it's not racketeering. Now I'm going to talk about Cassie. Can you sex traffic your girlfriend? Maybe if you push them into prostitution, but he's not making any money from it. God damn it. Boy, if I'm... This is what I'm talking about. Everything I done told y'all, they bringing it up here in closing arguments. You cannot, there is no profit. There's no profit. So how can it be prostitution? A pimp gets paid. That's the profit. There was a transaction for finances going in that direction. If you want to arrest somebody, arrest the workers. They're the ones committing it. They're doing it for money. That's their profit. Do you arrest the John or the woman? I don't understand the law. Maybe this lawyer don't understand the law. You know, the criminal lawyer who does RICO. It has to be a special circumstance in order for that to happen. You would have to have a lot of evidence to prove it without finance, without it being money involved. Usually that would come in a combination with an SA charge. There'll have to be an assault. There would have to be physical force for them to just say, okay, I was forced into this He made me do it. There's no money transferred, but I didn't want to do it, and they forced me to do it. And you have to have real concrete evidence without there being a money trail. You understand that? What was the purpose? You would have to have. This is circumstantial and direct evidence. This is too circumstantial. There's so many gray areas to say she was coerced when this was your girlfriend. This wasn't some random person. This story would work better if this was a random person that just said that, who worked for him, and they had no real history of a relationship. See, it's a whole lot of different gray areas. This is why I told you. It's a lot of gray areas in that subject. But now, since they are a couple, they were trying to almost make it look like they weren't in a relationship. And they trying to do this no means no thing. And it's like, come on, you stop that. People didn't coerce they women to go. Women didn't coerce men for years then. You think the man wanted to go to Fashion Week? You think he wanted to go to that baby shower? She coerced him. And most times they use sex as the weapon. Like, I'm going to feel really good tonight. Oh, I'm going to love it if you go with me. You're going to look so cute holding that baby. Oh, they do all this manipulation. So they're coercing you to go. Baby, you coerced me. I didn't want to go to that thing. You see? It's crazy. Okay, she's probably got to the kitchen now. Now, here they go. Now he says, James has some texts that are from anti-hotel night. Cassie, she doesn't. People are in love. People are having sex. Let's say your partner wants to do something and you don't. Where does that land? Cassie wanted this, including to be close. It's like my wife is from LA. I hate it. I hated LA. Now I love LA. Sorry, this how it happens. Cassie, she is a beautiful, sexy person. She was with Michael B. Jordan, the most handsome man in the world. She is not messing around. Cassie is not clutching her pearls. This is how I imitate with the man I love. You could come to love that. You would want to be close. Yesterday they said some she might have wanted it. Oh, they said Cannes, Daniel Phillips in International Hotel. If she's like 75 and number 76, be sex trafficking? If she's 75, then number 76 be sex trafficking, right? Talk about going from 0 to 60. Nothing said to him. She doesn't want to even do these again, right? Mr. Donaldson cross-examined Daniel Phillips. Let's look at the text. Sean says, are you horny? She says yes. Talk about fantasies. That is their lifestyle. She's right. I'm not going to do too many of these. My mother would, she writes. My ussy is so hot. They're going through this together. I'm going to play this part of the video. And it's the intercontinental video. It's more likely than not, it's from Combs' phone. And she is, I'm not going to show you him throwing her down. You've seen it. I'm not hiding it from you. Now, there is a phone. And here, now, is a well-known man sitting in this towel and socks. Looks like Cassie is saying, you're being a fool. Go back to the room. Look at it. It looks to me like she says, go back to the effing room. There's nothing scary in the room. 5 days later, he texts, I'm so sorry. She replies, LOL, I was just listening to sorry. They've obviously gotten over it. Cassie writes to Sean, how do I know if the drugs are going to be bad or you'll drink too much? This is about the hotel night. Cassie told you sometimes she hit him first. They're in this together, okay? She says there was an R word that happened. It did not happen. It is not charged. She was not asked and said he R worded me. But there wasn't a lot of lead up. Maybe it didn't happen. Cassie wrote the Combs. Cassie is in her with her current husband. Something happened. She wrote, I told myself I didn't want anything to happen, but I'm not tripping on it. I know you aren't either. She gets a FaceTime. Boogie Bat phone is her husband. Combs wrote, you act like a broken-hearted angel. You need to stop living your lie. Cassie says, I don't know who that was. I was saying thank you for last night and I enjoyed it. The oldest trick, I don't know how Alex found out, but she says, R word? How many times you have dealt with a girl, right? And you've seen it from a non-celebrity case, period, right? Non-celebrity case. And a girl get caught up. She got caught cheating. And to face the embarrassment, she'll say, he took advantage of me, babe. He R-worded me. How many times have we seen and heard that? How many times? This is a guy who's been sleeping with you doing freak offs all this time, and all of a sudden, he gonna R-word you? Then after this, you gonna sleep with him again? Come on. He found out, and she went in there and made up a lie. Because that's what she does. She's a manipulator. There is no evidence of an R word. She had consensual sex with him after the fact. I have to defend this in this case, but it is not charged. Cassie was asked, what kind of pain did Sean put her through? She spoke of his personal pain, his shame. It's beautiful, she said. He felt pain. And most painful to me was carrying around his shame. Jane says almost the same thing. I felt my partner was trusting me in his very vulnerable moment. I wanted to go alone if I can be my partner's escape. Jane says, I'm getting vulnerable with you in this hotel rooms. I don't want to see Young Miami or a bigger yacht with you. I don't want to see her on a bigger yacht with you. That's not sex trafficking. If you get deep into this deep self stuff, this is not sex trafficking. These are people in love being real with each other. And he said, Your Honor, he's like, and the judge is like, I was going to go to one. If now, he's like, I was going to turn to Jane. He said, we can break then, and then we can come back. So they took a break. And he said, I think I got about an hour left to go. So he got another hour left. He done already destroyed their whole case. Because this is a case of garbage. There's nothing here. That means they have nothing. Absolutely nothing. And he's pointing all of it out. That this is garbage. Everything they presented has been trashed. Every judge every lawyer that's pretty much trying this case is like, I just don't know how do you get to RICO. Like they're really blown away by these charges because you've never seen it before. Have you ever seen one person get charged for RICO? Never. Everything that you're doing here is like, how do you get trafficking out of this? Like, it's a reach. Everything is a far reach. It's not even like, well, we got him dead to the rights on this. The arson, the kidnapping. It's like, kidnapping? He wasn't even there. And they went home every night. Kidnapping. When the kidnappers take you home, let you sleep in your bed, and come pick you up in the morning and you go back to the kidnapping? Really? Are we doing that? We charging him with an arson of because we saying who else could it be? Who else could it be is the evidence? That's what we coming with? Hit the like button up. Hit the like button up, man. We have got to do away. We have got to do away with all of this disinformation and misinformation. And this is a crying fact. I hope if he's acquitted and this jury is equipped to come up there and acquit him on these charges, that they turn around and say finally to this government, like, y'all got to do better than this. Y'all proved nothing. The judge said, I thought about it. It makes more sense for me to charge the jury on Monday morning. Otherwise, it would be too late. With that, let's bring the jury back in. So they told Mr. Agnifino, you continue with the process. So he said, there's a suggestion Cassie didn't get the same amount of promotion as other bad boy artists. I think Capricorn Clark is an imperfect witness, but she said Cassie got the lion's share. Either side played the video for the witnesses, but Cassie videos was on her devices. She said the devices were damaged, but the expert was able to open it. I don't know what roles these videos played in her life, but she didn't delete them. Why would she keep it? Right? Why would if Cassie was so angry and forced to do these acts and was so just disturbed by, why is she keeping them? In the videos, the hotel rooms are beautiful. The music is great. Usher and what's not, right? You never meant to see these videos. Let's be honest. Sean Combs was never going to release these videos. He might have said it, but no way was he going to put that out there. Cassie is eating watermelons. She's listening to music. These are beautiful nights. The two escorts, the Punisher, I call him. He got it from basketball on West 4th Street. They thought Cassie was really into them. They were naive. I don't think this is a only man making homemade, adult-made film in America. I don't think Sean Combs is the only man to ever do this. I think it is a pretty popular thing these days. Jane, she wants to post things on Instagram, I guess. She was into it. I think she loves Sean Combs. You know, you guys know who is the father of her child is. You know who she was with in Vegas. She is comfortable with this. The government is not saying every hotel night is sex trafficking. They isolated September 2023. Jealousy over a yacht. Sometimes Jane didn't like the guy. She said one guy smelled and the other guy got sent back. 3187. The escort gets sent packing. He's a bum, but they still paid him. No sex, but got paid. Paying for his time. Yesterday, they just dismissed it. But that's what happened. Jane wanted to happen. She called her guy Sly. She liked Sly. She wrote Muy Caliente. Then there's the sobriety party. Jane is angry over Gina. And then she says she regretted it, resented it. But she agreed to do it, unfortunately. She said that she agreed to it, unfortunately, but that's it. We can be done with it. The house, Jane said she had the worst lawyer in the world. Her low child support from her father Mr. Combs did the right things in paying it. He's damned if you do, damned if you don't. He's paying for a house for a child that's not his responsibility. Him and Jane watched adult films. Jane's got him a mobile TV so he could watch it, so he'd make less adult films, she said. I'm not sure how that works, but that's what she did. She said she did. The photos, Combs has a big pour of wine, strawberries in there, but it's big. Nothing like a fancy restaurant. Half an hour later, something explicable happens. She slams his head into a counter and calls him a pedo. The woman Ali is of age. The woman that she's alleging is of age. So, once again, tell dumb bastard that the woman was of age. Stop saying, man, yeah, you know how the Diddy do be doing, man. Be throwing these parties with girls with food on them and stuff like that. And those girls don't look above the age limit. That girl look young. I'm looking at the picture right now. She young. This is what I got to deal with. Um, he said, yo, bro, this goodie. Diddy owned the team. Cassie played the game for a decade, putting in work. Young Miami has contractually fulfilled, fully guaranteed, and the rest, you know it. It's America Feds. Take the L. Thanks for the super chat. I don't know. The feds is the feds will be the feds, but I'm gonna tell you like this: I've never seen a case or a situation like this with a lack of evidence. There's like no evidence here whatsoever for what they're trying to do. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I appreciate the super chat. Well, thank you for being new here. We appreciate it. Hit the like button, all the new people. Mm-hmm. Nayo Tamori, I believe is the pronunciation. Nayo Tamori, that is body sushi. That's what it means. Nayo Tamori. It's a dish where the naked model will be there. They have food models. Like that's what they do for a living. These models. They're food models. Yeah. It's called Nada Tamori, I believe. If I'm mispronouncing it, sorry. I'm not Japanese. But it's not Nayo Tamori, I believe. It's food sushi. I don't eat sushi, so it don't bother me. But celebrities, Kanye West have had a Nada Tamori party. His daughter was there, his little daughter, North, and she didn't even want to eat the food off no naked person. She was like, I mean, they have coverings, it's a professional thing. So they wanted to say it was a freak off party. And Diddy got women there with food on them. It's crazy. And they underage. But this is what happened when you listen to dumb bastards instead of real people that's gonna give it to you real. When people want to push an agenda, that's what they're gonna do. Okay? So if you want BS, you can go listen to Dumb Bastard and Teaser Tales and the rest of the Nancy Grace crew. We don't do that here. Jane says Combs kicked her doors in, but he didn't hit her. I'm not saying he should, but he didn't. Here's what we know. A text from Jonathan Perez says they are fighting. At 10:14, he says, just normal being jealous. PD says, don't come, all good. Now Jane changes into another dress. I don't know. Now, no sweats, right? She says she hides behind a wall for 2 hours. I submitted, it's just not possible. She's just wrong or lying. I don't know. She comes back. Combs is in the streets. No violence. Okay, it looks like she was hit twice. Doesn't look like he hauled off, none, or that he dragged her. You know what this is? She is documenting her injuries. Let's talk about Anton, right? She sees him in Vegas with a famous rapper of some prominence. She is watching Anton having sex. She's asked, what did you do? She says, I showed my breasts. Why? It sounds like spring break, right? Then the rapper goes up to her with a question about the swingers lifestyle, and she gives them Sly's phone number. This story doesn't make sense. Let's say something else happened in Vegas, and then it's the same Anton who comes to her house. Coincidence? The one who shows up at her house is Anton, right? What she says makes no sense. Anton is an adult film star. He has sex. James knows there's an investigation. Did she instigate this? Her story makes no sense. Why was she so persistently violent? I didn't want to do it, but she let Anton in. I submit, they were trying to get past it. Oral sex only. At the end of the day, her story about has so many holes in it. You could say she prompted it. She maybe wants something in her pocket. I'm going to have to, I'm going to have something. Maybe I'll never use it. Why the unprovoked extreme violence? She doesn't even explain why she was unprovoked and extremely violent towards Sean Combs. You guys are here because you have lived full lives. You were chosen, and they chose only two of the escorts, the Punisher and Daniel Phillips. They could have given others immunity. Neither of the two admitted to being a prostitute. They're witnesses. If you get paid when you didn't have sex, you're getting paid for your time. In Sean Combs' mind, this is legal. It would be different if a witness said, I went and had sex, and there was a negotiation for it with Sean Combs. I assume in every adult film movie, the actor gets paid to have sex. And yet, it's legal. So he thinks it is legal. Okay, let's talk racketeering. Here, page 14 of the charge, the enterprise. The group must have an organization. You'll hear this. Only Sean Combs is charged here. Only one. No one testified. I was a part of a racketeering enterprise. Not one. This is the greatest divide between the evidence in this trial and what the prosecutors are saying. There is a gaping lack of evidence. Gaping. I'm telling you. I mean, all the walls are gone. Pause. This case got no walls. All the walls are gone. Long gone. Like button. No walls in this. How you racketeering case with one guy? And y'all acting like this case is legit. Huh, dumb bastard? How you, teaser, don't tell nobody, and you Nancy Graces? How y'all doing that? With a straight face. None of the people they brought up there said that they were part of a racketeering conspiracy. Why not? Because there isn't one. They didn't charge racketeering. They charged racketeering conspiracy. So there need to be a co-conspirator, and they just don't have one. They claimed KK, right? And they finna get to what I'm talking about. Let's go. The evidence at this trial shows KK is a helpful person. Kerry Morgan called KK. D-Rock. They are not co-conspirators. If John Gotti were kicking your door in, would you call Sammy the Bull Gravano? No. He's a co-conspirator. There's only one trial. KK is not a co-conspirator. KK is a very nice person. There's no evidence that anyone is a co-conspirator. The firearms are not charged. Yesterday, the government said in the videos, you don't see guns. But he probably shouldn't keep videos with guns in them. Is that fair? That's a little sinister. But why are they doing that? And that it was Cassie who asked to be urinated on. They not telling you about that. Cassie asked to be peed on. She want a little doo-doo. She want a little pee-pee. This ain't a remix edition. It's a song about pissing. She don't want coke and rum. She just wants some cum. Cassie's into having some fun. Hey, 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 hey. Yeah, she came to the door. She says it's almost 4. And before you go, I know you have some whoa-whoa. And then you can release. Don't go in that bathroom. I'ma lay on the floor. And then you can consume. Just go shake it off. And just let it off. I'm already on the floor. You can have it some more. She want Diddy to see her take all that pee. And he sitting right there going, yeah, baby. He just getting off. And she just getting soft. I just got foreclosed? Oh, jeez. So they said Cassie asked to be urinated on. At some point, you can ask, can I trust the prosecutors here? It takes a lot of courage to acquit. I think that the evidence shows, and you can conclude that the government targeted Sean Combs. I wouldn't say that if Cassie went to Homeland Security, uh, America is great between each citizens and the government. There is a jury. This is your house. I'm asking you to summon the courage to do the right thing and acquit Sean Combs on all counts. He's not a racketeer. He is innocent. Let him go home to his family. Thank you. So she's like, I would like to do a rebuttal to everything he said. So the defense laid the wood down. hmm So the jury leaves, right? She comes up for a rebuttal. She's like, he brought up conduct that has not been charged, sir. He said Mr. Combs was being targeted. We request curative instructions. Mr. Agnafino, you should have phrased it differently. But you went on to focus on the lack of conspiracy. What about the targeting charge? How is that not improper? No one went to law enforcement and complained. It's a fair comment. He said what he said, targeted. It's improper. A curative instruction is required. They made the argument at pretrial and they lost. This was inappropriate. And the judge said, I intend to add something to the charge. They should focus on whether the government proved each charge beyond a reasonable doubt. And they's like, we like it now. The judge said, there is a bedrock law that these arguments to the jury are improper. So I'll give the instructions. And then they said, we'll like it Monday. And the judge said, I'll do it when the jury comes back in 5 minutes. The judge is definitely being hard on Diddy's team. The judge said, you heard that Mr. Combs was targeted. That is not to be considered. This is not your concern. Ms. Comey, the defendant did not take no for an answer. Certainly not from his girlfriends. He beat them. This is not a domestic case. They suggest he didn't pay for sex. There was no enterprise and that the witness lied. But a few sex workers across the country to have sex with Cassie and Jane while he played with himself. It's not for the conversation. It was for sex. Remember Daniel Phillip? He said he got paid for sex when he performed and when he had performance issues. He stopped getting paid. The Punisher, $500 when no sex. Thousands when sex. I suspect you hear that uncalled witnesses were equally available to both sides. Maybe some of these men would have worked for free, having sex in front of a masked, masturbating celebrity, but they got paid. The defendant is guilty on counts 3 and 5. An enterprise can have unlawful and lawful purposes. KK uncalled witnesses are equally available to both sides. Did they agree to at least 2? Yes. Quick hits. The kidnapping is corroborated by Kid Cudi. He said he was forced to go along with them. She said he was forced to go along with them. Mr. Agnafino said Mr. Combs is a fist guy. Sure, when he hits his girlfriends. With men, he needs guns. At the London hotel, he made Cassie go after he stomped her on the face. She wasn't allowed to go home to her mom. That is kidnapping. The arson somehow the gloves fell off someone's childlike hand. No. He said he would do it, and he did it. Cassie said it. Eddie Guerrera, he believed he could not go to the police under the agreement, and Combs said, watch out. Watch how you spend it. That's bribery. This is a guy who can't get his own water bottle or plug in his own charger. He's the general. He delegates. KK knows the Wild King Knights involved escorts. The only reason he needs $1,000 in a hotel room is to pay escorts. KK reads all of the Combs texts, so she knew. KK alone makes Combs guilty of count 1, drugs. Mr. Agnifino talked about a conspiracy to distribute, but giving drugs to Cassie and Jane is distribution. This is enough. Mr. Agnifino claims they wanted it. The defense theory is that Cassie wanted to be urinated on, that Jane wanted to have sex with Anton after being beaten, and Mia wanted to be penetrated, that Cassie and Jane wanted to spend days in oil with UTIs and high heels with strange men. Mia said no. Cassie said no on her 29th birthday. Jane said no before Anton after beatings. These women had no reason to lie. The defense says it's for money, but Cassie already got paid. If Cassie was lying and already got paid, she would take the chance at perjury in a federal trial. This is a woman standing up for what's right. Mia already settled in mediation. There is no reason for her to put on a show. Jane doesn't intend to sue. These women refuse to let trauma swallow up their whole lives. That struggle that these women told the truth. They broke free of the defendant's manipulation. Jealousy is not a defense for sex trafficking. Jane picking out Sly and Anton was her way of taking back some control. Yes, she texted escorts. Sometimes he told her, sometimes he knew he would ask. She felt she had no choice. That's coercion. It's not coercion if you feel like you have no choice. Feeling like you have no choice and having no choice are different. She had a choice. Feeling like you have no choice is not, I don't have a choice. She had a choice and she chose. So there is no coercion, lady. Yeah, they full of it. What you expect? 5 white ladies. The defendant did hit Cassie during freak-offs. Cassie said it. Daniel Phillips told you. And it's on video. The defendant was in a towel. The freak-off was not over. There's no separating the violence and the sex. Remember the Cassie OD'd in a hotel room in Long Island and they still had the freak-offs when Jane performed oral on Anton after Combs beat him? This was trafficking. Mr. Agnifino said Cassie won a prize. What prize? Sex with a UTI, getting urinated in her mouth. It's ridiculous. They had a trauma bond. They were trapped. The cost of trapping them was a drop in the bucket for Mr. Number 1 on the Forbes list. He pushed her to continue after she vomited. She knew she didn't want to. The Intercontinental, they claimed, was intoxicated, that it was about a phone. He knew what he was doing. He kicks her. She calls security, so he stays to control her. I want to be clear. They called Anton, but he was the only repeat player in LA. They stopped with Cabral after he tried to extort Jane. Whatever words was used about conspiracy with Jane and Anton, there is no evidence of it. Yeah, so yeah, he coerced Cassie and Jane into this, and nothing happened. He R-worded Mia, and nothing happened. He beat Cassie, and nothing happened. He beat Cassie in a hotel on tape, then bribed the guards to buy it, and nothing happened. He was untouchable. Untouchable, or it didn't happen. He coerced Cassie and Jane into this, and nothing happened. Cassie said, I'm always down for a freak off. It's coercion. Hmm. Jane talking about she can't wait to do it. It's coercion. He R-worded Mia with no, and nothing happened. Well, nothing's gonna happen if they don't go to the cops. None of them went to the cops. That's why nothing happened. Nothing happened because they didn't go to the cops, lady. He beat Cassie and nothing happened because they didn't go to the cops. He beat Cassie in the hotel room and then he bribed the guards to buy it and nothing happened because they didn't go to the cops. He's untouchable. Yeah, if you don't go to the cops. I would feel like I'm untouchable too if nobody's going to the cops. I shoot somebody, bow. He keeps getting away with it, Your Honor. Did anybody go to the cops? No, but he did it. Did anybody go to the cops? No. Well, what do you want us to do? How you gonna try somebody and put somebody on trial for something they haven't been charged for? This is crazy. He did not think these women would speak and that Kid Cudi and Deontay Nash and other men would back them up. The defendant is not a god. He stands equal before the law. Find him guilty. Jurors, you may leave until Monday. The laptop and exhibit list should be ready Monday. We'll see you here then. Court is adjourned. So they gave this lying ass woman the last say. Okay. Thanks, Damon Schofield, for the cash app, for keeping it real. Damian Schofield, thanks for the cash out. Cynthia, thanks for your cash out. The cash app is Carcino if you want to show some support. Karceno. Yes. I think they did a lot to expose the fact that these charges are fraudulent. Yes, I was not very happy with how this. Oh, thanks for the super chat, Ferris Bueller. Diddy should be acquitted immediately. Everything that they got as evidence is circumstantial, and it holds no grounds. While Diddy continues to get hit with civil cases outside of court, they even trying to charge his sons and his children. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a surreal scene inside, outside, people arguing, debating. The overflow rooms were expanded to four. The clerk, the court clerks told people to be quiet. Everyone was still talking about, Agnafino when Comey started. They were still talking about all the stuff he said in the courtroom. They weren't even thinking about what she was saying. Now, here's the question that needs to be asked. Have the jury already made up their minds? That's the question that needs to be asked here. Have they already made a decision? Have they already made up their minds? That's what people need to determine. Have this jury made up their minds? They talk to certain and they always say different things. So some people in the jury feel as if my mind was made up already. I didn't even need closing arguments in certain cases. In a lot of cases, the jury just, at this point, they already know what they know off their notes, and nothing, their decision pretty much wasn't swayed by closing arguments. The decision was already made. Me, what closing arguments does is kind of refresh you on things you might have forgotten over months and months in this trial. Agnafino did a great job in presenting the facts of the case. He made it laughter. He brought in some entertainment. He brought in the fact that I love when he pointed at the five white women. Damn, have no case. Oh, he put on a show. Everybody was talking about him today. Stole the show. And it, just like clockwork, teaser tells, pops up to tell some lies. Yes, because what's listed as the definition of doing something and actually doing something are constantly two different things that keep fighting with one another. So what you have is the inability to grow things. You know, you can't grow the case. But it's like I said, some people don't need the final, like they was like, I don't need final instructions. I don't need this. I don't need that. Oh, you need it. Oh, you need it. You need it big time. Oh, definitely do that. Okay, there we are. They tried to knock me off, huh? They back on that trip, huh? Now, let's ask the question. Why are we out here? In this wonderful weather. Let's ask the question. And you might be asking yourself, what is the question? The question is, can you convict a man with zero evidence? This woman said, we know because Kid Cudi said it. Again, no direct evidence, circumstantial. So-and-so said it. He said this. They said that. They have no reason to lie. They use everything for their basis, for their ridiculous actions. I mean that seriously. Their actions, horrific at best. I mean it. Horrific. Now, when we start putting these things into the lamest terms, right? Because that's what we want to do. We want to get everything down in layman's terms. When we're talking about putting things in motion or putting actions into play, what we're really meaning to say is there are things here that are being constructed that are totally working against us that should have been working for us. And we're not seeing that. So we're not trusting of these people. We're not trusting of this nature of what we call society. We're not trusting of any of these services that we don't know anything about. What we seen people do was siphon off of what everyone else was thinking and actually doing. What you were forced with and what you were able to see was a landing strip of problems. The defense took a calculated risk when they said, they took a calculative risk. Looks good.
Thank you.
I got the door. Okay, you have a nice weekend.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Ah, house is nice and fresh. Ah, woof. My palace is back looking like a palace. Woo. Oh, look at that. Look at the kitchen. Oh my goodness. No dishes all over the place. Ooh, look at that kitchen. Perfect. Yeah. Ah. Woof. Yeah, I'm very rarely in this room. This is what I call my mom's den. She comes and sits in this den, watches TV, and gets on the phone, start yakety yakking with everybody. No. Yeah, it was a different time, you know. People had to make decisions that would garnish their lives and push them to a new light, you know. So that became more and more the case once people got older, you know. Nah. Nah, I ain't think like that. My thought my thought pattern was this: the facts. Let's get to the facts. Where's the evidence of that? The fact that you call someone and say it's a RICO, I proved count 3. Really? How did you prove count 3? I don't believe you proved count anything. I don't think you proved count Dracula. He's alive. We're charging him for being Count Dracula. He doesn't come out until night, Your Honor. What else could he be? What else could he be? He's Count Dracula. He can't keep getting away with it. Talking about count 3. Count 1, right here. See, it says it right here. That's count 1, that's count 2, that's count 3. It's bribery because he said, go and enjoy your money. Don't spend it all in one place. That's bribery. He has $1,000 in the hotel room. What is it for if it's not for sex? I'll be like, damn, I had $1,000 in the room before. I didn't know I was supposed to use that for sex. These got to be the 5 dumbest white women in America. Did the defense take a risk? They did. They took a huge risk. Of, with today's climate, saying that women ask for it. Oh, women don't like to hear that. Well, you asked for it. Don't say she asked for it. I'll be like, but she did. Something does not mean she asked for it. I'll be. So if she wanted to have sex with me, she wasn't asking for it? No. Did she say, hey, let's go have sex? Nah, but she grabbed my arm and pulled me to the bed. That doesn't mean she wanted sex. She could have just wanted to talk. But you wanted it to be sex because you're a mean man. And that's all men think about. Isn't it? You dog. They be like, what? They'll be sitting there saying it too. That mean man. They were going to just have a very normal day, and then that mean man. I'll be that mean man. Teaser don't tell nobody. Is over there talking again. Yeah, she talking. Because she's gonna go after the defense. How dare they say that to a woman? You know, us women who don't want to be taken lightly. I talked to my legal team, and I'm telling you, Marine Comey, that's my homegirl. Like oh my gosh, she was so great today. She was not, she sounded like a babbling, A babbling white girl who's been snotty-nosed and privileged, Nepo baby, getting an opportunity she don't deserve. I'm like, the hell is this Nepo baby talking about? She gonna call her daddy. Daddy, it's a black man talking about me. You're the former director of the FBI. I know you still got friends. Can you go in there and screw his life up? All right, my buddy's back from Jamaica. Hope he had a great time. Spent the week there for his birthday. Now he think he's supposed to come back and get gifts. You grown. Yep, now you're gonna be careful if you take a chick out. If Diddy's found guilty of this with no evidence whatsoever, you got a racketeering charge when you haven't charged nobody else. And I mean nobody else. The charges are insane. A man who, he can't keep getting away with it. He R-worded her and he got away with it. He keeps getting away with it. Nobody went to the cops. How's it getting away with something if no one is going to the goddamn cops? Damn, lady. He did not use guns. He used his fists only with women. It's not a domestic case. This is not a case of domestic violence. Why do you got to keep telling the jury, trying to get shock and awe sympathy so they could convict him on how they personally feel? You're trying to elicit emotions that has nothing to do with the evidence because there isn't any. We can all see that. Yes, I know. They said it to me. I didn't understand it. I didn't know what they were talking about at the said time. And I was like, they were like, he didn't discuss count 3. I'm like, he did. I mean, what are he supposed to do? He's fighting circumstantial evidence. What are you talking about? You can't fight something that they created. All you can do is just tell the truth, and it's like it didn't happen. So what was he supposed to say? Like, she made it up. That's just it. I don't have to go into a whole big spew. I'm just gonna tell you that don't make any sense whatsoever. Saying he just came over to my room and R-worded me on the floor. So you can tell that the current boyfriend you're with, that's what happened when he found out. They were both at a mutual party and then met up and had sex again another night because she enjoyed having sex with him. And from her testimony, you could tell she still got feelings for Diddy. She probably get down with Diddy again. But this the person y'all want to keep calling a victim. The only victim here was the American people who had to waste their time dealing with this. Taxpayers who got to pay for this trial. Y'all the victims. What it do? He gave her a pearl necklace, Yellowstone necklace, a HTI necklace. And she said, give me some more. Girl, how that pee taste? Give me some more. Right. They have no evidence. Everything that they talking about is text messages. And they're trying to turn text messages into crimes. If they're allowed to do this, every American is not safe. Every black American is not safe. Every Latino American is not safe. A chance? Of course he got a chance. You're correct about that. Man, I went out crazy, partied up last night, boy. Man, I was kicking it, partying. I was like, this is why I never take shots. I don't like doing shots. It's like out of the question. I did one shot. It was like just one shot. I took one shot of Patron and I was gone. Of one shot. Well, the thing is, what do you intend on doing? Oh, wait a minute. This is pissing you off? What's pissing you off, homie? The title?
The title?
Yeah, she had it.
No, we hold on to the title.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. How's it going?
Oh, my bad. I didn't know y'all do that. All right. All right, see y'all. Oh. Yes. So they got the title to the business. I just want to make sure. I'm like, the title? They was like, oh, we're holding on to it. I'm like, good. Yeah, I closed down the LLC. The one after I closed out my end of the partnership. You know, I don't like to get in business with shady people. Once I've seen their practices, I can't get in business with you. So that's why I use my other LLC and not this one. So I closed out the business, got back the money. I took a loss, but to get back some of the money was better than not getting back any of the money. And then being caught in lawsuits all day. And I think this is because of the government in the Southern District of New York. I believe this is them. Trying to get back at me for defending Diddy. Oh, we're legally not able to talk about it. I gotta wait till all this is, is resolved. Oh, dumb bastard? No. Dumb bastard won't be able to do something like this. It's too complicated for him. All dumb bastard knows is Diddy guilty, man, cause he guilty, man. It's Diddy. We know what Diddy do, man. And Diddy did it. So, that's what you get from him. What's new on the Patreon? Oh, you got to check it out. Told you, we got 3 of the most explosive videos in 30 days. That's because when people do things, they only categorize their feelings. They don't categorize anyone else's thoughts, anyone else's behavioral patterns. They only calculate how they feel about it. And the whole world should feel how they feel. Rather than this, we're supposed to believe women that did not go to the police, right? Did not go to the authorities for anything in the world. Right, they did not go to any authorities. So, people that did not go to the authorities for anything, we're now supposed to say, we're going to charge these people for something that he was never arrested for. Then she's claiming he was not charged for these things, but then you use them in your argument. I just don't understand this woman whatsoever. I just really don't. As MC Light says, I cram to understand you. Your case just makes no sense, Maureen. A racketeering charge, bribery. There was no policeman there. So where is the bribe? I'm trying to figure out how we got to the bribery. How we get the bribery? Right, this is my relaxation day. As you saw, I was outside relaxing, having a good day, relaxing, not worried about nothing. And then I gotta deal with this nonsense, all this Diddy talk, all this craziness going on, all this foolery. Going out here, kicking it, getting up with some hoes. You know what I mean? So I'm scared to talk to these chicks now. She was coerced to give her his phone number. And Mr. Davis was very coercive. I was like, I wasn't coercing, I was cursing. I probably would be no good on the stand, because I'm gonna let everybody have it. If I was in this Diddy case, I'd be demanding I testify. I'd be, oh, I'm taking the stand. They're gonna be, this is not gonna help your case. I don't care. Taking the stand. Mr. Combs, did you F you? How dare you ask me about my personal bedroom business? But there ain't no case. Me and her had sex, we get down, that's what we do. We like it, ain't no crime, leave us alone. See, that's the only person that could say that is a man. Yeah, something you ain't got. I already know you ain't got no man. You probably dating her right there, and she dating her. All y'all dating each other. Sexless in the city. Mad at me because we having sex. Nobody want to sleep with a woman in a pantsuit. Maybe Mr. Davis in the free. You climaxed on her. Yep. Why did you do that? Because I felt like it's my personal business. She said that she put that on your nipple. All that stuff would have never happened. First of all, I could never be in a trial like this. Any chick could be telling you, like, he won't try nothing. I'd be like, let's try this. He'd be like, why don't you try shutting up? I'll be try shutting up. How about that? And after you had a good cup of shut up, now it's time for me to go to work. But I just feel like it's more about you than me. You can name every girl I dated, they'll tell you that. Sex was more about him than me. I felt like I wasn't even there. I wanted companionship. He was watching Sports Center. I was like, I knew it. I knew they was gonna blow that game. That was fucking far late down the train. I'm trying to multitask. I can get my updates, my sports updates while I'm having sex. I'll be like, that's good. I'm doing two things at once. I can suck your titties and watch the highlights at the same time. Well, she talking about she want to get in the mood, and it's just taking her out the mood when I'm like, we're in a hotel room. I just naturally grab the remote, turn on the TV on the hotel room, flip some channels, and next thing you know, it's on Sports Center. ESPN pop up, I just leave it there. All right, there it is. Right, I ain't thinking about them at all during the sex. Yes, it's all about what I want. 100%. Pleasing you was not in the deal. If you not pleased, that's your fault. I've just been fortunate that they keep coming back. And then they want more. So you have to be very good at what you do, you know, in order to keep getting repeat business. See, I got levels. As long as you got levels, you'll be all right. I don't got time to be doing this. I don't really want to do this. I got that sex mode. I don't even want to be doing this. All right, let's hurry up. I got that mode. Then I got better put a helmet on. Gonna drive you through the wall. Then I got that mode. Then I got all right, let's let some music. I'll let the ambiance that you want. Play the music, all that stuff. But that's about it. Let her feel the vibe. But you don't give them all the same mode all the time. No, you gotta switch it up. If you give them the drive them through the wall one every time, then you're gonna have the one be like, can we not be so rough? man, I was crushing this one chick, man. She couldn't take it. I was, man, you talking about to the floor? From the bed to the floor. She crawled out the bed to the floor. Jesus Christ, she couldn't take it. And it's always right before a breakup. We was about to break up, ended up going to a party. We went our separate ways. Then she was like, come back to my house. I knew what that even meant. Like, why don't you, how close are you? You still around here? I'm like, yeah, come by my house. I'm like, all right. I know what this is. Went there and gave her the drive up through the wall. And that was it. She was like, oh, we are back on. And I was like, not really. I'm not really that interested. But this was fun. Right, you turned me into the Punisher. Oh, the I don't want to be here sex? Oh, I've had that. She be, you done already? I mean, yeah, done. Are you happy? Are you through yet? Go ahead, do what you want. I just be laying there on the bed, like, go ahead. I'd be like, are you done? Are you done? Okay. I got stuff to do. I gotta talk about the Laker game and LeBron and them tonight. When we done. Oh, they know better. If the PS5 is on, one, if they even at my house when the PS5 is on, I'm not even talking to them. I mean, I'm playing RoboCop. Leave me alone. I'm in here trying to kill Ed right now on RoboCop. What do I care about what a dumb bastard is saying? Of course, when people compromise themselves for money, that's what they do. Well, you can't investigate something that didn't happen. He went after every charge there was. They ain't back away from none of it. It's all garbage. No, I couldn't take the stand because I'd just be cussing the prosecution out. Uh, 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 uh. Well, Gene Deal has a lot to do with it. I don't think he do at all. Y'all making stuff way too big. Gene ain't taking no stand. I told you that. You couldn't put Gene. What could Gene Deal corroborate? He wasn't there. He was not around the Cassie situation. I kept telling y'all this over and over again. I'm glad somebody brought that up. Gene Deal was never going to be, what could he testify to? And if Gene was to take the stand, people would look at him in disgust. So I'm going to get out of here. Don't forget, go to the Patreon, join my Patreon, which is Carcino for Life. We got some stuff that's going up today, even though I'm chilling today and ain't really doing too much, unless we get some breaking news. But other than that, that's it. So I'm out. Holla. Shouts out to Kwame Brown, Bust Life. His Judge Joe Brown interview was excellent. Check that out. Welcome to HD IITV. The WNBA, he got that on lock. Oh, 100% he do. Sports Talk with Jose Rodriguez. Check him out. Too Raw for TV. Putting down that real. Absolutely. 78 Sports TV, all the boxing news, the real report you're getting from 78. The Nate Jones story, support that channel. Blood Boxing still holding it down all these years. And you got D-Style Boxing. You have a lot of channels, man. There's a lot of great channels out there. I just can't think of them all. The Rebuttal Radio with Chris Carlson. Keep holding it down, brother. I'm still with you. And I'm out. Like this video up.